Okay, so here's my E-Type, and what I want to show here is the way the car looked when I got it. This is a little bit after I got it, but for all intents and purposes, it's the body is everything is the way that I got it. I'm just really amazed at how good and what great shape it is. But what I want you to look at right now is the lines for the bonnet. The line at the back of the bonnet where it meets the firewall area, and the line, the horizontal line at the bottom there. See, I mean, how nice and perfect it is, and the arch over the wheel, and everything looks exactly the way it ought to. It looks perfect in every way that I could tell. When I got the car, I looked at it, and for as many years after I was driving it, it looked very, very perfect in that sense there. But there are some issues with the bonnet. And for those of you who are astute about what an E-Type Jag is supposed to look like, one of the things you'll notice right here is that the stone guard is not in place. So stone guard not in place. Wonder why. So what happened was, after I started working on the car and I took it apart and I got a new set of subframes. Now there's a video I've got that I posted that shows the new subframes fully attached to the car. And in that view, you'll see that the subframe is the nicely painted claret colored subframe that you have on the right hand side here. And on the left side, you go, holy crap, that's the subframe, the bonnet support, I should say, that came with the car. The entire assembly of subframes, for those of you who want to know, is actually 4 pieces, 2 side pieces, a piece that they call the picture frame, and then the bonnet support here. And so I had all of them in place, and when I put the bonnet on the car, lo and behold, it was about 2 inches too short. 2 inches too short. That means that the gap that you saw there by the firewall was about 2 inches wide. And yeah, I have to say that was kind of a surprising thing, because I called somebody. I said, geez, there's a huge gap there. I mean, what am I supposed to do? And the response of most of the people that I spoke to at the time was, well, just put some shims in. And I'm like, you don't understand. You can't shim something closer. You can shim it farther away, but you can't shim it closer. So what I did was I contacted Uric at E-Type Fabs, and I'll tell you what, I mean, hats off to that guy. He makes the absolute best subframes for a Jaguar E-Type that anybody in the world. They're better than they were factory. He makes them in his shop in England, sells them. A lot of vendors, a lot of the big names that you buy Jag parts from actually are reselling his subframes, and they are just absolutely perfect. And so I contacted him and I told him my dilemma, and I showed him this picture, the difference between the 2 sizes there. And the long and the short of it is, somewhere along the line back in Italy, where this car was originally sold and drove, I believe, on a race team, but I'm not sure, and there had been some damage to the bonnet, and they repaired it in such a way that they actually did some brazing and whatever on this bonnet support. They did some crazy work on the underside of the bonnet that you really can't see when the bonnet is on the car. And that is what made the bonnet be the way it is. So I contacted Uric. I sent him both of those pieces. He made a absolutely perfect bonnet support duplicate of this crappy rusty one that I have here. He made it. It was spot on, absolutely perfect dimensions, knowing that it was not, the proper way that it's supposed to be, but he made it for me there so that it would be able to fit on my car, and that is how I ended up getting the entire thing to the way it looks in that view there.